And let's start the training. Today is going to be a very special day because we are going to learn uh, the how to sell an IUL, and we're gonna go through everything. And pay attention because I have to go a little fast because it's a lot of information. So write down your questions, get a pen and paper, write down all your questions, and if it's like a very important question, interrupt me and ask it. Okay? And if it's like on a scale from 1 to 10, a 4, maybe you can ask it at the end and I can go back in the presentation. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to share the same presentation that I have here. I'm going to share it with you at the in the chat. So it's right there. That's the same exact presentation. And the other thing that I will do for the ones that are watching this recording is I will post the same PDF above the video. So either above or below it. And then you can download the PDF so you can always have it there. All right. So IUL, Anthony, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Excellent. I'm doing great, excited, and I know all of you are going to do great things. We need to dominate California, and and I think we are looking really good to have great success for 2026 and all the years to follow. So, okay, so let's start. IUL course. First, we need to start with the first call. So that's where everything starts. So we're going to talk about what is it that you have to say on the first call. And basically, you can separate the first call in three sections. You have to build trust, you have to go into their pain, and you have to build the dream. Very important. If they only trust you, then you become their friend. But it doesn't mean they're going to buy from you. You have to go into their pain. Now, if you leave them in the hole without a solution, then you can't do anything with them. Like they won't buy a policy. You have to then, number three, build a dream. Okay, so we're going to talk about tonality, energy, happiness, compliments, curiosity, commonality, humor, and form. A lot of you already know what form is, and we'll go through that really briefly. On the pain, we're going to explore the problem, the frustrations, the experiences they had, the failures. And on the dream, we need to build the dream. So we need to talk about the benefit anchoring. We need to anchor the benefits of the product to their life. Otherwise, they are disconnected from the IUL. And then we need to motivate them. We need to come in with energy. We need to come in with happiness. All the $1 million closers I know are very happy people, and they are always cracking jokes and they always make the client feel very good. You need to have humor, and you always need to be complimenting the client. Okay, so we're going to talk about all of that. And let's start with the resources. What are some resources, Anthony, that you can use to elevate your game? These are the two books that I recommend. The one in the middle, How to Win Friends and Influence People, that's a classic. Even Tony Robbins recommends that book, and even Tony Robbins took that course. So that's a classic, and it's an incredible book. It shows you how you can resolve difficult situations. Okay. And then the one on the right is from no less than the world's greatest salesman, Joe Girard, but by classified as the world's greatest by the Guinness records. He sold about 1,400 cars in 1 year, about 6 cars per day, something crazy. We can't sell a policy a day. Well, he sold 6 cars a day. Incredible. And that's an incredible book. It talks about everything that you need to know to be a great closer. Okay, so that is going to elevate you massively. So that's Joe, and he talks a lot about mindset. And he says the more people you reach, the more people you'll sell to. It's just that simple. Joe Girard. Now, we believe here in our system, in what we do, that sales is a numbers game. If you understand that sales is a numbers game, you're going to have great success. Okay. Now, let's talk about the numbers. So, if sales is a numbers game, let's talk about the actual numbers. So, let's talk about leads. Leads. How do the leads look like here with us? So, for example, when you start at 70% commission. Let's say you get 100 leads for IULs. They are averaging about $17 per lead. The investment for 100, it's about 1,700. The closing minimum closing rate is about 3%. Now, if you are a great closer or a great agent that follows up a lot and you call those leads 5, 10, 15 times, then you're going to close. You can close anywhere between 3% and 10%. I don't know anybody that closes more than 10%. So if you get to the 10%, you're going to be one of the greatest. One of the best closers I know is Eric. He lives in LA. He he's on the phone like 12 hours a day, Monday through Saturday, and he uses a triple dialer to dial the leads, and he closes at 10% rate. Incredible stamina. So if you can do that, you're going to close more than 3%. But 3%, 3 out of 100, it's very little. I know you can close more than that, but I'm keeping all the numbers conservative so that you know this is legit. Okay, now if you go out there and buy the same lead, you're gonna pay $45 at Kaboom Leads or any other lead vendor out there. So the average commission in the in this market, the IUL market, will pay you around $2,000 for an IUL. So we're talking about a $300 a month premium, and that's about like a $3,600 annual target premium minus whatever the company pays and the 70% contract. Then it's about $2,000. I don't want to get into the exact numbers, but that's a really good average. If you do three of those, we're talking about $6,000. Now, once you get to the 100% commission level, then 100 leads will pay you around $8,000. And from there, all you have to decide is how much money you want to invest. You always have to invest, and this is part of our system. In my opinion, without leads, you cannot have a successful business because your circle of influence is very little, and you normally run out in about 6 months. So you need leads. You need constant leads coming in, and leads offer you two great things. The first one is predictability. You can predict, Carlos, how much money you want to make this month. Dalia, you can predict how much money you want to make in March. How? Well, you just get 100 leads, and we already know that the statistics tell us that you're going to close at least three. You want to close more, Anthony? Let's say you want to make over $20,000 next month, then you need about 400 leads. Now, if you call them more times, maybe you can close at 6% and you only need about 200 leads. So if your closing ratio goes up, you're going to make more money and you need less leads. So it's a numbers game. Whoever calls more will make more money. Another way of looking at this business is every time you make a call, you make $7, just to give you like a good average. Why? Why $7? Because if you get 100 leads and you call them 5 times each, that's 500 dials. 500 dials times 7, then equal probably the $6,000. See? So the secret here is leads and your ability, your stamina to call the leads. Whoever calls the leads the most will win the game. Okay. Now, how do we get the leads? The uh the prospects, Carlos, Dalia, Sandra, watch a video on social media. This is the ad. This is one of the ads. They click on the video. They tell us how much money they want to put aside each week. The question is set aside goal, 50 a week. Okay, that's $200 a month. And then they send us their information, and you get the information via text, just like you see here. See, this one's from California, Texas, Kansas. You get the information just like that. You don't have to post videos. You don't have to do nothing. All you have to do is like sit down, watch a movie, and wait for that text to come in. And when that text comes in, you pause the movie, you tell your kids you're going to be back, you call the lead, and then you start with the first call, which is this training right now, and you start connecting with the lead. Okay. Now, how are the typical results when you get leads? And this is very important. And some of you are going to say, "Oh, that's those numbers are very low." But guess what? With IULs and when I was in real estate, you don't need a lot of conversions to make a lot of money. Why? Because that's why we sell the product, the high ticket product with your life license. If you were selling like, a low ticket product, yes, that would be a problem. But what's the idea here? The idea is I would assume that everybody here, Sandra, Dalia, Carlos, Anthony, and myself, we want to work less and make more, right? Everybody wants to achieve that goal. So in order to do that, we have to focus on the top two products that pay us the most, and that is IULs and annuities. So we're talking about IULs. We already had the annuity training yesterday, and it's recorded, and you can see it on the training website. What is the training website? en.sistemafinancierousa.com. This is I'm building the website for you still. I'm still not done, but you can go to annuities, and there it is. This is the training from yesterday, Anthony. And here's the PDF version so you can watch the training, and you can go to the PDF right here. And this is the annuity training. This is what we covered yesterday. Okay. So what are the numbers when you get 100 leads, what's going to happen? Okay, easy. 100 will drop in your phone. You'll get 100. You have to call them up to 10 times. 50 of them will never answer, but you have to call them 10 times because you don't know who will not answer. And it's not your job to determine who's going to answer or not. You can't be like, "Oh, I think he's not going to answer. I'm going to delete him." No, your job is to call. That's it. And then 10 of those will be mad. And that's okay. You eliminate those. Another 10 will say kindly that they are not interested. So you ask for referrals. An additional 10 will be interested but busy. So you have to follow up, put them on your follow-up list, and I have a training for that, how you can follow up and never, never, ever lose a lead. And you keep calling them up to 10 times. And then 20 of them will normally be willing to meet via Zoom. So they will say yes to a Zoom meeting and they will actually schedule it with you. And you have to keep calling them up to 10 times until you set up that meeting. And then 7 of them will show up to the meeting. What happened to the other 13? They didn't show up. And yes, you were at your computer waiting for them. And yes, you canceled your day for because you were waiting for the client. Yes, that happens. And yes, you will cancel a lot of things and the clients won't show up. And that's normal. And I'm telling it to you right now because even if they even by them doing that, you're still going to make a lot of money. Why? Because we don't need all of them to show up. We just need the the numbers the numbers that you're seeing on the screen. We only need 3 to make a lot of money, and then 5 of them, 7 show up, 5 you will send applications for, and then you will ask for referrals on all of these individuals here. 2 of them will not qualify, or 1 of them will call you and say, oh, my wife got mad and I want to cancel. And then you end up with 3 transactions. So these are the actual numbers. Now, if you go out there to buy leads, the lead vendors, it's their job and responsibility to sell you leads. That's their business. So they have to lie to you and say, oh, buy me 10 leads and you're going to close 3. And every time I hear that, I'm like, wait, that's a 30% conversion. Wow, who's closing at 30% conversion? That's crazy. And I laugh because I've been doing thousands of leads for many, many years, and I've never known a closer that closes more than 10% on the online leads. So online leads is very different than referrals. Referrals close at around 40% rates. And there are like, if you knock on doors, that's a different game. I'm talking about online leads, leads that will drop in your phone and leads that you can close over the phone or via Zoom. Okay, so these are the real numbers. If you understand this and you can withstand this pain right here, because this is pain. This is the most painful part of the business. If you can just ignore this, guess what? You're going to be a very rich man and woman. As simple as that. Okay. Um, and there you have like all you have to do. And you have the PDF, so you can always go back to it because we have like a ton to cover. So let's talk about trust. Mm, we have to talk about tonality. Tonality is very important. When you call somebody, the normally the way I call Anthony is I'm like, Mr. Smith, or in this case, Mary, and I ask the question. And this is I don't know if I got that strategy from Jordan Belford, the Wolf of Wall Street. He uses that first 4 seconds. He's really good at the first 4 seconds. I learned that from him. And he asks for the name in that manner. Mary, she will always say yes or mm-hmm, or she will always answer the positive or who is this? And then you continue. Mary, this is Sam Torres. I saw you just sent in your inquiry about our 10X Builders Life Plan. And I was just calling you to see what you like the most about the video you just saw. As simple as that. And then you let her tell you what is it that they love about the video. Okay. And when you come in with a nice tonality, with a good energy, with happiness, so try to smile, then you can open up a conversation. Now, I like to say, I saw you just sent an inquiry. So we're not cold calling, we're not reaching out to cold leads. They sent in the inquiry. And that gives us the authority to be firm in what we have to say. So you don't have to be scared, Anthony, Carlos, Sandra, about what they're going to say because they called us. They reached out to us. They're the ones requesting more information. So you have to be like firm and stand your ground because the leads will tell you something like, "Oh yeah, tell me all about it. What is it that you can offer?" Like they're arrogant. And when they're like that, you just lower your tone and empathize with them and just say, "Hey, Mary, this is Sam. I saw you just sent in your inquiry about our 10x Builders Life Plan," or you can say something like our Builders Plan or our cash value life insurance. Mary, that's awesome. And I love that you're taking steps to help your family. Quick question. What stood out to you the most about the video you just saw? And then let her answer because by her answering, Mary is going to tell you exactly what is it that she's looking for. Now, what is it that we talk about on the video, Carlos? On the IUL video, we talk about the 10 benefits, as simple as that. I'll go through all the benefits, on the next slide, I believe, and you will see what is that we talk about on the in the ads. We don't lie to the prospects, and we create all the marketing, Sandra. We create all the videos here, so we don't lie to them and we don't say things like, "Oh, the government is offering you $25,000. Click here to claim your price." We don't put a roulette on the screen so they can like stop the roulette. It's legit. We are talking about a financial product. We don't use the word IUL because everybody talks about the IUL. So we talk about something bigger, like a financial foundation, like a builder's life plan, like a 10x, like a financial vehicle with 10 benefits. We talk about something even bigger. And that's why we are able to keep the cost so low because when people see our ads, they are impressed because they saw something different and it's not the same mumble jumble about IULs. Okay. And then uh, and then compliment. Mary, also, you have a great voice. Where are you calling from? If they're calling from New York, they have the New York accent, and and you can just compliment them on that. If they have a Southern California accent, then you compliment them on that. If they have a Southern accent, like a Texan accent, you compliment them on that. And then you say something like, sounds like you might be at work right now if you hear a lot of noise. And then you ask, what do you do? And then they tell you where they work. And now you're collecting information. Oh, wow, Mary, that sounds interesting. I actually worked in, and then you connect with them. You find, I think this word is incorrect. It's supposed to say commonality. You find something in common. So this is what this is. Oh, that sounds interesting, Mary. You work at a factory? That's great. Hey, are you in the production line or shipping or receiving? And you start connecting with them and you tell them, "Oh yeah, I did manufacturing back in the day. I remember." Are you on swing shift, graveyard, morning shift? Oh, morning shift. Oh wow, so you have seniority. And I start speaking their language. And whatever they do, you can always find something that connects with them. Uh, if you can't connect, like for example, if you never worked at a factory, maybe your uncle worked at a factory, maybe you live near a factory or something. But you have to find something where you can connect with them and it sounds original. It doesn't sound like you're not forcing it. Okay, then you say something like, Maria, honestly, no, it's not Mary, it's Maria. Maria, honestly, good for you for starting something like this so early. You sound super young. I would guess you're about 20, right? And then they'll laugh, and then you break the ice. You know, they start laughing and they're like, ha, ha. No, I'm actually 45. You write it down. Anthony, you write down all this is information you are collecting from them that you're going to need for the application and for the illustration. Oh, you're 45. Okay, my bad. I thought you were like 25. Uh, so perfect. Now, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? Like, if they didn't give you the age, you ask it, or you can be or not, and you can wait until you get there in the application. So those are some things that you can do when you start the first minute. Okay, tonality. Mary, Mary, Mary. Now I'm going to tell you something. Uh, in English, we don't have this problem much, but in Spanish, it's like people that speak Spanish, they have a really hard time speaking from the heart because the Spanish language, you speak it from your throat and out, from your mouth, basically. In English, you speak from your diaphragm. Diaphragm. I remember when I was learning to speak English, I would get like a kid's book and start reading to practice my English. And after an hour of practicing, my jaw would hurt, my throat, my chest would hurt. And the reason was I was exercising new muscles that I've never exercised before speaking Spanish. So, but tonality is very important. You have to speak from the heart, and I'm talking about literally from your chest. So you can do some exercises to make your voice softer, and you can start doing something like pushing air through your mouth. So you can do things like and just push that air. This is this is an exercise they have singers do so they can push more air and their vocal cords soften. And when you soften the voice, then your client is going to receive like a better, a softer tone of voice. And instead of sounding like, Mary, how you doing, Mary? You sound like, Mary, Mary, how you doing? Oh, that's awesome, Mary. And then you start speaking from the heart. See? So tonality, very important. And pay attention. Put your hand on your chest when you're talking and make sure that the air is coming out from your lungs, from the inside. Okay? Energy. You need energy. You need to be excited. You can play some music in the morning and something that pumps you up and you need to be in that state of mind. Okay, you can do the Tony Robbins exercise. You can stand up like Superman, breathe, look at the sky, smile, and just hold it there for a minute. Okay, and that will give you energy. You have to be happy and transmit the happiness. You have to compliment them. It's all there, all here. You have to be curious, ask questions. You have to have humor. So, Mary, I thought you were 25. Okay, and then you have to use you can use form. Form. A lot of you know what this is. It's a family, occupation, recreation, and money. Okay. And then you start building that trust. Now, You have to sort of understand, and this is a little difficult, and you will get your practice, but you have to start finding out what what type of personality you're speaking to. If you're talking to a direct person, you cannot go into, hey, where you worked and how are the kids. No, they just want to know the numbers. And they're going to be like, dude, just send me the illustration and I'll look at the numbers. Bye. But if it's somebody emotional, you have to identify emotional people and talk about their emotions. Oh, how are the kids? Oh my gosh, you lost your brother. I'm sorry about that. And then you can talk about that. But if it's somebody analytical, they just want to see the numbers, then you tell them, "Oh yeah, well the number this is how it works," and you can start talking about the technical stuff. Okay? Because if you find somebody that's direct and you try to beat around the bush and ask them about his family, he's gonna hang up on you because they are like super direct. Now, what is it that we offer? So when they ask you, a lot of them will say, "Oh, yeah, I submitted my information. I don't remember what it was all about. I watch a lot of stuff, and honestly, I don't remember." Oh, no problem, Mary. Well, you saw a video, and we were talking about the 10 benefits in a builder's life plan. And we were talking about your kid's inheritance. We were talking about, and then you can start reading from the list here. So these are the 12 benefits of an IUL, and you're gonna have this. And I'm not gonna go through everything. I'm just gonna like summarize. The first one is your life insurance. Second, terminal illness coverage. Third, chronic illness. Fourth, critical illness. Fifth, the money grows. Sixth, the money's protected with a 0% floor. Seven, you have liquidity. Eight, you can, this is a tax-free account, a tax-free cash value life insurance. Nine, you can add additional money to this account and the money will double normally around 7 to 10 years. 10, in you can get participating loans, so you can borrow against the cash that's built in the account. 11, that's a bonus one. Depending on the state and age, you can qualify for critical injury benefits. That means if that happens to you, then you can cash out. And lastly, you can qualify for Alzheimer coverage as well. So the IUL can have up to 10 benefits, and I have them listed here. This is how we break down IULs. And nobody, Carlos, I've never seen anybody break them like this. And this is great.
These are all writers.
No, these are some of them are writers. Some of them are just part of the IUL, and all of the IULs have them.
The cash value I know, but everything else looks like a writer, huh?
No, there is like five of them are writers. Everything else is just like part of the benefits that the IUL has.
The tax free in that. Okay.
So the tax-free, the part where the money grows in the markets, like the index strategies, the life insurance, that's the main one. Liquidity. So liquidity means accessibility to your funds, to your cash. This is not a retirement account. So they don't have to wait until they are 59 and a half. That's a benefit. That's a benefit. Because if they put the money in an IRA, Roth IRA, 401k, they can't get it out. So it's a benefit. And they're all listed here. And whatever the client is interested in the most, that's where you're going to go for. Normally, Clients will be interested in the family legacy, which is the life insurance. And we don't use simple terms like, oh yeah, it's a life insurance. No, we talk bigger because everybody sells life insurance, but not everybody sells family legacies. So if you just change the wording, you're going to separate from the herd, and they will herd you. They will hear you. Okay?
Make
So
note of that, guys. Family legacy. Don't use the word life insurance. Mike, like Sandra and Anthony, I tell them, don't say life insurance, say final expense, because we want to direct, final expense. It's like for burial or cremation. So in this case, we're gonna say family legacy. Make note of that.
family legacy, or depending, I sometimes I say family inheritance or kids inheritance. If I know that they have kids, I just go with that. Oh, so this is the benefit number one is your kids inheritance. And that's how I word it. Okay. So okay, so I have this slide just in case they ask, oh, I don't remember what is it that I saw. Can you remind me? No problem, Maria. You saw a video and we were talking about 10 or 12 benefits in a cash value life insurance. Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, perfect, Maria. What is it that you loved about the video that you dropped your information? Because I don't think, Maria, you are dropping your information just anywhere, right? And you hook them with that. Because nobody's going to say they are giving their information away. So they'll say, "Oh, no, 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 I don't drop my information just anywhere." And then they are telling you that yes, they were very interested. Now, the first call. Now let's talk about pain, problem, frustration, experiences, failures. So I have some questions here, and I'm gonna tell you the secret, Anthony, of being a great salesperson. A great salesperson never sells. It's ironic to say it, but we derive this this information from the fact that people hate to be sold. Okay, people hate to be sold, but they love buying. And if you don't believe me, go to the mall and it's packed. Everybody's there. But guess what? Everybody hates when you go to the mall and you have a representative come up to you and say, how can I help you? Like, I hate that. Everybody hates that. We'll just want to be free, and we want to be free to choose, and we want to make those decisions. Now, how do we do it here? If they hate, if they hate the fact that we are salespersons and we come here to sell, how do we do it so that they sell themselves without us being part of the sales process? Well, we do that with questions, as simple as that. So, a great salesman will build questions that will trick the buyer to sell themselves. I'm going to say it again because this is super important, and I would suggest you write it down. A great salesman or saleswoman will build a question so that the buyer sells themselves. As simple as that. If you can achieve that, you can sell anything. So some of those questions are here. For example, Mary, you told me that you are interested in improving your finances. Okay, so based on, she watched the video and she told us that she's interested in improving her finances. Mary, what would you say worries you the most about your financial future? Right here. And then you let her talk and she will tell you everything. This is called an open-ended question. It's a question with without a yes and no answer. It's a broad question. She's got to answer something broad, something that will take more than a couple of words. And then you can ask, Mary, are you planning to leave just final expense money to your family or more like I love you money? When you say this, and you have to say it like smiling, you can't say it serious. If you say this question serious, they can get offended. So you have to sort of smile and make them laugh maybe prior to that. But this question does wonders. Mary, are you planning to leave just final expense money to your family or more like I love you money? Oh, no, I love you money. Of course, I love them. And then the other question is, Mary, if something happens to you, I'm sure your family will suffer greatly emotionally. However, do you already have something in place so your family doesn't double suffer financially? Are they protected? And then wait for her answer. And this, in here, you are diving deep into her pain. Mary, you live in one of the richest countries in the world. And a lot of normal people have money working for them while they sleep. Do you have anything right now that creates income for you passively? And then she's gonna start thinking like, uh, I don't think so. Oh, that's great. Because that's exactly what you liked. A financial vehicle that will give you a lot of benefits. And one of those benefits is that while you sleep, your money's gonna be working for you. Just like the rich do, now you have the same opportunity. And one more, Mary. If something unexpected happened to you, like another pandemic or an illness or anything that kept you from working, do you have anything set up that would protect you, protect what you have built? And then you let her answer. So these are the I would say these are the hardest questions to ask. That's why you have to prepare the client with section one, the section that we saw first, trust. Okay, that's why you have to do the trust first, and then you go to the pain. Now, after the pain, you go to the dream, and you have to anchor the benefits, motivate them, bring in energy, happiness, humor, compliments. Always compliment the client. Whatever they tell you, oh, I work at a factory on at night. Oh, that's wonderful, Mary. That's an incredible effort that you're making for your family. Wow. Not everybody can do that. How do you do it? Oh, well, I'm strong. Oh, wow. I can tell, Mary. So listen, and then you ask the question. Now, here is a summary of the benefits inside an IUL. Okay, and this is called. You're gonna hear me in a lot of trainings. You're gonna hear me talk about the stack. The stack. The stack is a strategy taught by many of the great salesmen. I learned it from Russell Brunson. He's one of the greatest in the US. He builds funnels and he created the company ClickFunnels. He's an incredible marketer and he teaches that in his book. And I learned that from him. And when I learned that, I started implementing the stack everywhere and it works like magic. What is the stack? Well, you get a product and in you break it down in its simplest form with all the benefits that it's got. In this case, when I came into the business, I realized that the IUL was a very complex product and that they were only selling the IUL with three benefits. Oh, yeah, you get a life insurance, living benefits, and cash value. And I'm like, okay, so that's three benefits. That's nice. And I started breaking it down. And that's when I realized that it has 10. Now, if you go to a client and you tell them, and he's shopping around for an IUL, and you come to them and you tell them, oh, I can build you a 10x builders life plan, or I can build you a 10 benefit cash value life insurance, or I can build you an IUL with 10 features. Who do you think is going to sell more? The guy that's selling three benefits or you that's selling 10? And in the case of National Life, they offer these additional two. So you can say 12 benefits. Incredible. And all you have to do is like memorize them. And every time you talk to a client, just recite them quickly. Oh, Mary, yeah, this is incredible, Mary. I'm here to serve your family. This is what we're doing. Our financial foundation, our financial vehicles are incredible because they offer you in one vehicle, you get everything. You get your family legacy. You get your terminal illness coverage, your chronic, critical, market gain, 0% floor, liquidity, tax benefits, investment strategy, participating loans, uh, severe critical injury, Alzheimer protection. It's incredible, Mary. This is going to change your life. And every time you talk to them, try to use the stack. The stack means throw the stack at them. Hey, Mary, this is what I can offer. The number one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. And guess what? It's the same thing I'm doing recruiting. When I'm recruiting, Carlos, what do I say? Oh, the company has this to offer, and this, and this, and that, and that. And I don't stop. I go on for like 2 minutes, one after the other. I do the stack all the time, and it works wonders. Who else used the stack? Jesus, the Sermon on the Mountain. That's the stack strategy. He was just going one after the other. One bienaventuranzas. I forgot the name, the term in English. One after the other, and it's a strategy that you can use. Okay, let's move on now. After you did the first call, you bring them to a Zoom. So I have here in yellow that you have to bring them to a Zoom meeting. You don't, in English, you don't have to like, it's highly recommended because an image talks more than 1,000 words. So if you can bring them to a Zoom meeting, it's great. If you cannot, if it's somebody analytical and they just want you to send the illustration, then you need to send the illustration and follow up like crazy before they go with somebody else. All right. So you bring them to a Zoom meeting. In the Zoom meeting, you start sealing the deal. What do we have to do here? Three things. Do the presentation. Number two, do the application. Number three, do the underwriting and delivery. Okay? So what's the secret here? The secret is that they sell themselves. Let me read this. So they have to have sell you. So have them tell you why they want an IUL. And you achieve that by asking questions, right? One of the questions, for example, right now, one of the questions I can ask you why you're here, I can ask you something like, Anthony, uh, what do you want to make money and why are you here trying to learn how to make money? Like I'm giving you the answer, but I want you to tell me. Like, why do you want to be here to make money, Anthony? And Anthony, you can answer something like, "Oh, because yes, exactly that. I want to make money." So those are the questions. So you give them the answer and they will just repeat the answer back to you, and you have them sell the product to you. Same use tonality, energy, happiness, compliments, be curious, commonality, humor, form, family, occupation, recreation, and money. And then very important, address tough concerns, but finish with benefits, and then do a soft transition to the application. Okay, so let's talk about the presentation. Presentation. I always show uh, this table. I had an old one, but I just created this one. This is more complete. And because I know when they get an IUL, they will go on the weekends to their friends, and their friends will start talking bad about what they don't know. And they will start telling them, oh, yeah, you just got scammed. It doesn't work. So I like to be one step ahead of that and just show them everything that they have available to invest. So here I show them real estate, stocks, and I tell Mary, this is everything where you can put your money in. Real estate, stocks, mutual funds, index funds. Mary, let me ask you, are you familiar with any of these financial vehicles? No? Yes? Okay, that's perfect. Well, the reason I'm showing you this chart, Mary, is because look at the very bottom. That's our product. That's our IUL. And look at all the benefits. Like nothing else has more features and more benefits than an IUL. You are buying the entire package for $300 a month. You're buying an incredible deal that will give you uh, benefits from day one at an incredible price. For $300, Mary, a month, you cannot go do a real estate deal. I can tell you that. With $300 a month, Mary, you cannot invest in stocks because in 1 year, something happens to you, and what do you have? $3,000? With $300 a month, Mary, you cannot do like anything on the table really. But guess what? You can do an IUL, and an IUL will give you thousands of dollars available from day one. Of course, something has to happen to you, but guess what? We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but you're safe, you're secured, and your money's already working for you. So, Mary, I am showing you this table just to let you know that you are making an incredible decision for your family. Now, let me talk about the benefits, Mary, so that you understand how this works. This is a 10 feature builder's life plan or cash value life insurance. Some people call it an IUL. I don't like to use the word IUL, Mary, for the simple fact that there are about 40 providers out there, and every carrier or provider has about four different variations of the IUL. So there's about 160 IULs out there. And guess what? Most of them don't work. That's why I don't like to use that term and like to use the a real product that will solve a real problem for you. So after doing all the research, we came up with the top two, and those two have all these 10 benefits. We're going to go through them one by one, Mary. The first benefit is your family inheritance, your family legacy. You have kids, right? You love your kids. Perfect. And you said that you just don't want to leave final expense money. You want to leave them I love you money, right? Perfect. So here is your opportunity. Mary, let me ask you, do you currently have something in place to for their inheritance? No? Perfect. With this, as soon as they draft the first 300, your kids already have their inheritance. Something happens to you, and guess what? It's already there. Now, what would happen, Mary, if the doctor says you have 12 months to live? Well, then you can cash out a lot of this policy so you can live your last 12 months probably not happy, probably in pain, in emotional distress. But guess what? At least financially, you will be okay.
So
So
you
you
can
can
pull
stop
what,
working.
50%, Sam?
Some companies do 24, other companies do 100%. F&G does 100%. North American does 24%. Um, Transamerica 90%. National Life 80%. Now, when I'm doing this, Carlos,
Uh,
I already pulled up the illustration, so I just
nice.
pull it up quickly, and I'm going to
I
show
was
it to you.
about to ask you if you could do a slideshow from that point of the funeral and on.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
Because what
and
we're
I
gonna do.
normally do, and I'm going to show you Anthony, Carlos, Dalia, Sandra, how easy it is to do an illustration real time. So
So
you
there's
go
no
to
waiting period either on this one for to
what do you mean
coverage full face amount,
for the
IUL.
face amount?
Like, because some have a waiting period. If you die within the first before the 24 months, it doesn't cover fully. This one is immediate full coverage face
I
amount.
don't. We would you would have to read the illustration. I haven't looked into that specific detail, to be
Okay.
honest.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So listen, this is how easy illustrations are. This is my account. This is the this is how easy it is to sell policies. Look at the production, this month's production. So you can easily sell whatever, Anthony. Okay, you come here, you go to an illustration, you select California, you select the IUL, and I have trainings for this, so I'm not going to stop here and show you every button. It's very common sense. You select, let's just say 45, and then you go to the death benefit, solve for target premium, and then specified amount 300, and then you do 300 up to age 60. So they will contribute for about 15 years only. It's a level uh, with no riders. I like to select these two index strategies because these ones have been averaging like 14% for the past 20 years. Incredible. 100%. And then I go to, and then that's it. I run the report and I get my illustration super quickly. That's it. And then I toggle from this illustration. I go from this illustration to my presentation. And then, Mary, your family inheritance. How much is your family inheritance for $300, Mary? So for $300, look at this, Mary. 300, you get 178,465. Day one. This is your kid's inheritance. Now I'm going to explain every number, Mary. Just bear with me because it's a lot of information. I don't want to confuse you, and we'll get to every single number, I promise. Now, benefit number two is your terminal illness coverage. If the doctor says you have 12 months to live, you can cash out. In this case, in the case of National Life, you can cash out up to $153,000 right here, Mary. It's all disclosed. Everything is here. Now, Let's talk about the third benefit, Mary. What if the doctor says that you are chronically ill? What does that mean? That means, Mary, that you cannot do two of the six daily activities. What is that? That means you can't eat on your own. You can't wake up, stand up on your own. You can't go to the toilet on your own. You can't take a shower on your own. You can't transport yourself on your own. And you basically can't do anything. You need help from somebody. And if you are in that condition for more than 90 days, you cash out. How much? I'm going to tell you. You cash out 26.58 per month until you get better, until you get well, until you can start working again and uh and you can start moving on your own. Okay? And then, Mary, let's go to the benefit number four. Benefit four is your chronic illness. What does this mean? This means, Mary, if you get a heart attack, a stroke, you go blind, you get a paralysis, you get a life-threatening cancer, you cash out, Mary. This is incredible. I mean, most people, Mary, before they die, go through something horrible like this. Guess what? Now your family is not going to suffer financially because you're covered. How much? Well, for critical illness, up to 142,444 right here. Now, this company, Mary, I don't have it in the presentation here because for it's not available for everybody. But guess what? For you, because of your age, because you're young still, and because the state of California allows it, you qualify for critical injury benefit of up to 142,444. That means if you go into a coma or you end up on a ventilator, like millions of people ended up in during COVID, then you can cash out up to 142,444. How does that sound, Mary? Not only that, Mary, but you also qualify for Alzheimer disease benefit. That means if the doctor declares you with Alzheimer, your beneficiaries can cash out up to 135,682. And guess what? Now they don't have to pay out of pocket for your care. And I know they love you and they want to do everything for you. But guess what? They got wives, they got husbands. And sometimes not everybody will agree, even though you get even when you get sick. So in this instance, you are protected. Now, Mary, that's the worst that can happen. And knock on wood, we don't want that to happen to you. So part of the money will grow with the markets. And let me just show you a little table of how part of the money is growing. Oh, let me show you this, Mary. Very important. So here's a projection of when you are 69 years of age and when you are 79. The gray box, the gray bar is the money that came out of your pocket. The green one is the money that you have access to, the cash that accumulated that you can take out and or use for with loans, etc. And the purple is your benefits, your life benefits, your illnesses benefits. At 79, this is what you put out of pocket. This is the cash that accumulated, and these are the benefits. Now, let me show you how the money grows so you know exactly what this is all about. Part of the money, Mary, part of the money is going to go work with the markets. And what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to put 50% of that money and 50% of the other 50% in the top two index strategies that have averaged the most gains over the past 20 years. So here you have the past 20 years, and here you have five buckets where your money is going to work for you when you are sleeping. And guess what? We're going to put it to work on this one. This is an index that has been averaging 14.81% over the past 20 years. And the second one has been averaging 10.71% for the past 20 years. Now, Mary, do you currently know a place that's giving out these returns? Is your money working somewhere where you're getting these returns? Oh, that's great, Mary. Excellent. Then this you're getting into something really, really good. And you should be proud of yourself for allowing yourself to do this. Now, part of the money's growing with the markets, but guess what, Mary? The markets crash, but not here because your money's protected. There's three ways your money can grow with simple interest. This is the interest that the bank pays you on your money. And let me ask you, Mary, how many thousands of dollars have you earned in interest from your bank? Oh, zero? Yeah, that sounds about right. Yes. Now, Mary, let me ask you, how much money have you made on average year by year over the past 10, 20 years in your 401k? Oh, you don't know? That sounds about right, Mary, because they don't want to disclose to you how much money you make because they take a lot of it in fees and commissions. And guess what? When the market crashes, then they pass on all the losses to you and your account never grows. That's called the interest, the variable compound interest. It goes up and down, and it's always going up and down and crashing. But guess what, Mary? Inside the IUL, we work the fixed compound interest. That means, Mary, that if this year your account goes up and makes money, that money's locked. You will never lose it. Next year, 2027, the market makes money. Once you make that money, you lock that money, Mary, and you never lose it. So you participate, Mary, with the markets in the upside potential, but never on the losses. It's like going to Vegas and always win. How does that feel, Mary? Have you been to Vegas? Yeah. Have you lost? Yes. It feels horrible, right? But when you win, it feels good. Now, this is like always winning and never losing. Of course, it doesn't feel like as good because of the environment. You never see the account. And I mean, it's a boring account, to be honest with you. It grows very slow. Like you get your gains every month, and it gets kind of boring, but it's there growing. Now, you don't have any zero market risk. That means that your money's not exposed to the market, Mary. Now let's go to how can I prove this? Let me prove it to you here on the illustration. Let's find another chart where I can show you. I believe that I passed it. I think it was up here. Hmm, where is it, Mary? Right here. We found it. Okay, so let me show you this, Mary. This is the actual index fund where your money spared to. Your money's not inside here, but this is they pair your money with, they attach it to this index strategy. This here is your money. So what happens, Mary? When the market crashes, let's go to 2008. This is 2008 right here. This index fund lost a little bit, actually 0.48%, just a little bit. But guess what? Your account lost zero, nothing. You didn't lose anything, Mary. Let's go to the worst year, 2022. This fund, this index fund, lost 15%. Mary, can you see this number here? Zero? That's exactly right. You lost zero. Your money, Mary, is protected. They credit you with the gains, never with the losses. And this fund or this strategy pays you 260% of whatever the fund is doing. Check this out. Here, the fund made 12%. They paid you 32%. Incredible. And that's how your money is working for you, Mary, while you sleep. Okay? Now, you also have the tax benefit. Very simple to understand, Mary, and you can ask ChatGPT about this. This product, this is a cash value life insurance. Life insurances have about 46 regulations in Washington. They are one of the most financial vehicle. They are one of the most protected financial vehicles, and one of the protections is that they don't pay any taxes. So whatever money you can grow here on your death benefit or your illness coverage or accelerations, you will not pay a dime in taxes. And when you borrow against the cash that's in the account, you don't pay taxes either. So everything, basically everything that you can grow inside this account, you will never have to worry about paying taxes again. And in your case, you live in California. The state of California is one of the most expensive states for taxes. So you're going to be saving about 35% of your money. Incredible. Now, let's talk about liquidity. You're 45 years old, Mary. You're barely starting, but guess what? When you're about 50, 55, you're gonna have some cash in the account. And if something were to happen to you, you have access to that cash. And guess what? You call the company and you're gonna get the cash in 48 to 72 hours. Super fast. Why? Because you have easy access to this cash. This is not a retirement account. This is not an investment account. So you're not subject to the 59 and a half rules that penalize you for withdrawing money before 59 and a half. That rule does not apply to you, and thus you have liquidity. Your money is liquid. You can access it quickly. Now, Mary, inside this financial vehicle, you have an investing strategy. Mary, let me ask you, do you currently invest in stocks or invest in anything out there? Yes? No? Okay. Let me show you something, Mary. I'm going to show you something very interesting. I'm going to go to the numbers. I'm going to go to the numbers and show you how the numbers will look or the projection year over year. So here are the numbers, Mary. You are 45. These are the years. These are the years. This is your age right here. This is the premium outlay. So $300 a month, that's $3,600 a year, Mary, right here. Year by year, you're contributing $3,600. Okay. Now, we have an illustration, a conservative illustration if at 3.55%, and we have another conservative illustration at 6.81%, assuming the market is only appreciating at 6.81%. But Mary, you remember the rates of return, right? That I showed you, the index funds. Carlos, you remember that, right? They were averaging what, 10, 14%. But here, the state of California only allows the company to project at a rate of 6.81%. That's the max the company can illustrate. So these numbers here are extremely conservative, and you should keep in mind that the market is appreciating a lot more, twice as much as this amount. Now, let me explain how the investing strategy works in this account. Here you have your cash surrender column. This is the money you can take out. This is the money you have access to. This is the money you're going to borrow against to get your loans. Okay, something happens to you, you can take money out from here. This is your death benefit. All your illness accelerations, all the your coverage for illnesses will come out of this column. Now, you can see that in year 10, you have $28,000 in cash. Year 15, you have $56,000 in cash, assuming a 6.81% appreciation. Year 20, you have $78,000 in cash. Now, let me show you how the investing strategy works inside the IUL. Let's go to year 15. Year 15, here you have $56,000. Almost 57. It's 56,972. So let's say 57,000. Year 15. I'm writing it down, Mary. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a lump sum in the first year just to show you how that money is going to grow over the years and how many times over you can double that money over 15 years. Okay, so we got 57,000, and I'm going to go to I'm going to go here, and I'm going to add. Let me see how much I can add. I'm looking at the 7 pay. The max non-mec is 13,000. So the max I can do, Mary, I'm going to do $5,000 extra. There. $5,000. Now I'm going to run the report. And let's go look at those numbers. Let's take a look at those numbers and let's find year 15. There we go. Year 15, how much do we have? 69,000. How much we had before? 57. So that's $12,000 more. Okay, $12,000 more. So you put in $5,000 here, 5,000, and now the 5,000 converted into 12,000 in 15 years. You doubled your money, considering that the state of California only allow us to illustrate at 6.81%.
Is that the terminology of funding? Overfunding it?
No, that's the terminology. No, I don't. I'm
Because I
not
saw
using.
lump sum, so it wouldn't be scattering payments. It'll be lump sum they put in at the initial or when.
Yeah, the lump. See, yeah, so what I'm trying to illustrate is additional money that they put into the policy goes to work straight to the index strategies. It doesn't pay for any life insurance.
Okay.
So because it goes straight to work with the index strategies, then it just goes to work right away. And at a 10% interest rate, it doubles every 7 years.
That's what a lot of agents use as retirement plan, right? They can use it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, sometimes if the client is very interested in this, I pull up the compound calculator and I tell them, hey, I just showed you, Mary, that this IUL is producing anywhere between 10% and 14% per year. So let me pull the compound interest calculator from from the government, and I'm going to add $5,000 here, and then I'm going to do 15 years, and I'm not going to do 14%. I'm going to do 10% just to keep it conservative. I'm going to calculate it. And look at this, $5,000, Mary, you quadruple that money in 15 years. Now, the company, because of the rules in California, cannot illustrate more than a 6.81% rate of return. But if we were to do the actual numbers with the actual gains that the market has produced over the past 20 years, this is what it would show. $20,886,000. So you would quadruple your money. And that, Mary, is how you invest inside the IUL. And you don't have to go out and buy a $4,000 course to do real estate. And you don't need thousands and thousands of dollars to invest in something that you where you can lose the money, or you don't have to learn complicated stuff or get into risky crypto schemes. No, all you have to do is call the company and tell them you want to add a lump sum, and you just leave it there and let it work. You can go to sleep, you can come back in 10 years, 7 years, and your money will be doubled depending on what the market does. Is it guaranteed? Of course not, Mary. Nobody can guarantee anything. Life is not guaranteed. That's why we buy life insurances.
Sam,
Yes.
the lump sum it has to be deposited in the beginning, or it could be throughout the.
Yeah, throughout, anywhere. Yeah, anytime. And it doesn't have to be thousands. It can be like a couple hundred more. Uh, yeah, so long as you don't exceed the 7 pay. In this case, the 7 pay is right here. It's National Life calls it the, how does it call it? The max non-mec, but it's the 7 pay rule. It's in this case for this client, the 7 pay is $13,514. So that's the maximum she can contribute per year on this policy for a specific number of years, normally between 5 and 7. And it's a tricky formula. There is no exact number. So they just have to like, you can illustrate it. You can play with the numbers all day and just add money here. You can add rows right here and just do like $3,000 the first year, a month, and you can do like $300 the from year 2 to 5, and then from year 5 to 10, you do $500. Like you can play with the amounts all day, and you can just project whatever the client wants. But like Carlos was saying yesterday about the annuities, you need to keep it simple. So right now, I'm giving you everything, but guess what? When I sit with the client, I don't go through everything because I identify what is it that they love the most. That's why the first question when you open that call, Anthony, is the most important one. Mr. Anthony, what is it that you like the most about the video you just saw? Oh, the tax-free accumulation. Perfect. Let me show you the numbers. And that's it. Now, if it's a mother whose husband just passed away, she's going to be worried about family legacy. She's going to be worried about living benefits. So you focus on the first four, and you and the others just go quickly, like super quickly. You don't even show her on the illustration because that's going to confuse her. Okay, but right now for training purposes, I'm going through everything. Now, so you already saw how to do how to explain benefit number 9. Okay, investing inside the IUL. And all the clients that like cash accumulation, I do that all the time. And then I ask the hard question, Mr. Jose, do you currently have a financial vehicle that grows with the markets and zero risk? And if they are honest, they will say no. And the ones that will not purchase and are arrogant, they will say, "Oh yeah, yeah, I know a place where they pay me 30% per year and no risk." I'm like, "Okay, Don
Yeah,
Jose,
right.
yeah, let me. I'm gonna quit my job and show me where it is because I'm interested." I tell them I'm interested. I told this guy, he's like, "Oh no, I'm investing. I'm getting 40% return per year. I'm investing it." I'm like, "Send me the information. I'm interested because I want the best for my
Not even in
clients."
gold. So the face the face value of this policy was 178 and change, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And that's the first number, the first benefit. Now,
So
last
what
one.
you did is you budgeted at $300 a month and they give you an automatic versus
It gave me, yes, I never leave it at that. I always round it up, round it down. I always round it down. So once I know the value, for example, right here,
yeah, because some people are used to, oh, I want 150, but in this case it was more like, what is your budget? This is
yeah,
your budget. The
you
face
know
value
what?
automatically, right? Calculates.
I noticed that with your clients, Carlos, that your clients tell you the face amount they want.
Yeah.
The leads that we work, they normally don't know. And you have to guide them. You have to lead them to that. But it's IULs normally come down to how much money they want to put in per month.
Because the advertisement does say you can put a certain, which where you at on a bi-weekly, how much can you put in?
Exactly.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because if I ask what face amount they want,
Yeah, right.
everybody's
Say
gonna
a
say a
million.
million dollars. And once I bring them to a presentation and I tell them, oh, you need to put $1,000 a month,
You're gonna
they'll
kill the
just
deal.
exit. Yeah, it's gonna kill it. So I go for the weekly amounts.
Okay, thank you.
And then here you just go to 100 and here you go to, so you can do none and you can select the face amount. So you can do like, I would do on this, in this situation, I would do like 150.
Yeah,
My
but I
commission,
think with your ad, you rather use the budget of the monthly better.
I always lower the face amount. So the
Okay,
cash accumulation is a little bit more.
okay.
And I will get paid less. They pay us on the target premium. Here on the left, you can see the target premium. So she's putting $300 a month. At Target, it would be $3,600 a year. But in this case, they will only pay me based on $3,000. So depending, if the client is looking for death benefit and living benefits, then I do it at Target. Whatever the target gives me, I'll max the face amount. But if they want accumulation, then I have to lower the face amount so they can accumulate more.
Yeah, and the reason you just did it the other way because your advertising talks about how much they can put on the side. Basically, their budget, right?
Exactly, their
Okay.
budget.
All
And
right.
then, but if they are towards accumulation, then I lower the face amount always.
Okay.
Not only that, I use North American. Okay. So now let me finish with the participating loan. Participating loan, you can, the company, I don't get much into that. I just tell them that whenever they need money, they can borrow against the cash at a 0.5, 1%, 2%, 3%, while their money is growing at a 10% interest rate. And I don't get into any numbers because that changes. It's variable. So, and I don't want to like promise a number. I just tell them that that's in place. If you get into that, it's sometimes you can't get out of that, and it's hard to like focus on the application. Okay, now what if it's a client that wants cash accumulation and they're like they are comparing it to a 401k? Then you use North American. You go here, open North American, go to the Illustrator, log in 2 seconds. See how quickly I got into the Illustrator? That's how quickly you should get in. Start a new case. Carlos Perez, age 45, male from California, index universal life, and it's the builder 4, the first one. It's always the most of the time the first one. And then you open the illustration, and I have training for how to do the illustration, so I'm not going to stop here. First, you do the death benefit at targets, return of premium, $300 up to age 65, and then you calculate the numbers. And with North American, the this portal is like a little bit outdated, so you have to trick it. You close this. Now you come back here and you change it to distribution. You lower the face amount, you round it down. Let's do 130. And then we have to do the distributions. Let's start the distributions at 65 to 85. And then we have to calculate the guidelines. Now let's select the index strategies, and you select the top two. Those are the good ones, averaging 10% per year. And now you go to the top, view full illustration, and now we're gonna have the full illustration. As simple as that. But you have training for this, okay? So you can always like go back to that. And there we have it. And Mr. Carlos, your first your first benefit is your family inheritance. I know you love your kids. You mentioned that you have a 3-year-old Anthony Perez. Remember when he was 3? And I know you love him so much that you want to set something up for him in case something happens to you. Well, you already have here for him $130,000 ready for his instant inheritance, tax free. Number 2, you have your terminal illness. Terminal illness, you have your chronic illness, and you have your critical illness. Terminal, that means the doctor says you got 12 months to live. Chronic, that means you can't do 2 of the 6 daily activities for 90 days. Critic, that means you get a heart attack, a critical illness like life-threatening cancer, paralysis, blindness, stroke, major organ transplants. Okay, so you cash out. How much, Mr. Perez? Let's go to the levels. Let's go to the percentages right here. Right here. How much? 90% for terminal, 24% for chronic, 25% for critical in all years. And this qualifies from day one. Something happens to you tomorrow, and you can start cashing out. Now, we have your growth, and let me show you how this grows. Let me show you this table. This is how it's growing. What I'm going to do, Mr. Carlos, is I'm going to select the first two index strategies here. This one is averaging 7.4%, and this one's averaging 11.4% per year. So I'm going to do 50-50. Unless you want to put everything in like in this one and this one, which is also good. But I like to put it at least 50% on the top one, on the top performing index strategy over the past 20 years. Mr. Carlos, another great thing you're going to get is market protection. Zero market risk. How does that work? It's simple. If you can see here, in 2022, this index fund lost 11%. But your account, Mr. Carlos, lost zero. That means you never lose. Now, let's go to the tax benefit. This is classified as a life insurance, no taxes. You have liquidity. This is not a retirement account. You can access it before 59 and a half. You can invest additional money. And we can also do the same play with this illustration. You just go here, lump sum. You add additional money, and it'll illustrate. And you always select like year 15 or year 20, and you show them there. And you compare the numbers, how much they are making over those years. And lastly, Mr. Carlos, let me show you something incredible. Everything you will pay will be given back to you tenfold. Check this out. Check this out, Mr. Carlos. You did $300 a month for 20 years right here. That's $3,600 a year. And the company's projecting to pay you $10,000 a year until you're 85. So for 20 years, Mr. Carlos, you contributed $3,600 a year, and the company's projecting to pay you 3 times as much for 25 years when you retire. Not only that, Mr. Carlos, but all this time you were covered. Your 3-year-old, Anthony, is now 23. And guess what? He was covered. Nothing happened to you, and that's great. But he was covered. And you still have your death benefit. Check this out. Even though you start taking distributions, you still have your death benefit column. It's decreasing, of course. The more you take out, the more this is going to decrease. But you also have the cash value column still active. Of course, the more you take out, the more this is going to decrease. But the participating loan here, Mr. Carlos, does wonders for you. Let me just explain this. This is very important. How much do you see here on the screen? 92,000. How much did you take out? 10,000. So 92,000 minus 10,000, how much is it? 82,000, right? Wrong. You got 87,000. Why is it that your account didn't drop $10,000 because North American has the very best participating loan where the money keeps working for you while you take distributions. So your money is still growing. And this here are loans, loans from the company, loans maybe at 0% interest rate, maybe 1% interest rate, maybe 2% interest rate. It varies. But guess what? It's a very ridiculous interest rate compared to the 10%, 11% your account is growing to at. So while your account is still growing, you're taking out loans that you don't have to pay back. Why don't you have to pay them back? Because your policy value is taking care of it. And this, Mr. Carlos, is just incredible because you basically get threefold what you paid and you were covered all those years. Now, let's assume that you stop the distributions at 85. You still have a little bit of death benefit and cash value. Check this out. Look what happens to your cash from year from 85 until you're 100. It went from $4,000 to $200,000. How was it able to grow that fast? Because your account still growing based on the policy value, not the cash value. So the markets are pushing your account from this value. Why from this value? Because the money never came out of your account. You took out loans, not money from your account. And that's why this account is able to recover very fast. I know it's confusing, Mr. Carlos, but I just want you to know that to put it in simple terms, you contribute $300 a month and they will pay you 1,000 a month when you retire. How does that sound?
So this was the option of Pacific because you could put the ages and then the target, you can use it as the market protection where you can decrease to give it value somewhere else. And then max is just money growth, right? On this IUL.
This IUL is
You did it on specify, right? Option,
return of premium.
but you did it on specify, right?
Um,
It wasn't target or
specify.
MAC, right?
No, it was not. It was amount of distributions. Is that what you're talking about?
Go down a little bit
I
more.
did distribution.
Yeah, because I know this format because that's the one I use at Farmers. Let me see, go down. Loan participating fix. Go down more. You know how you put the H right here, 65, where you say standard loan?
Uh-huh.
Okay, all right, I got it.
Yeah. So this is the participating loan. Hmm. And
Okay.
then so that's that. And then now once you're here, that's it. The client is there. By then you already notice their objections and everything. So you go to the application, and I know we have to wrap up right here, right now because it's getting late, but you have to go to stage two. Now, the application. What I do, Anthony, is I don't ask the clients whether they want to apply or not, because you're going to kill the deal most of the time, Sandra. Don't ask clients whether they want to apply or not. The way you say it is like if you see that the client is confident and he's liking the account, just say, Mr. Smith, now there's a little bit of a situation here because you do need to qualify for this plan. They check your health, they check your driving record and your criminal record. But Mr. Smith, we don't have to worry about any frauds, right? And he will laugh unless been in frauds. And then he's going to say, "Oh, no, no. Okay, Mr. Smith. So what we're going to do is we're just going to send the application and see what happens. Let's see what they say. And then we can figure out the rest." So what I'm going to do, Mr. Smith, is just, just send out the application. Let me open it up right here, Mr. Smith. And you just keep like your voice like that, and you open the application. Okay, Mr. Smith, so we're gonna do new business. Okay, excellence. Okay, so Mr. Smith, what's your Soj?
And you're sharing your screen at this point with the Zoom, right? With the client?
Yeah, I always do it.
Okay.
Unless, okay, except when the client is like super uh analytical and super annoying. You know, those clients that want to know every single, what is that? What is that button on the left? Oh, you clicked on, what is it? Let me see. Can you expand? I want to read it. Like when I spot a client that wants to read every fine print,
Many
I
questions,
don't
right?
share
That's how
many
you
questions.
detect them with the many questions.
When they talk a lot, when they go into the nitty gritty of every little single thing, like when you talk about the life insurance and they start asking like 10 questions on one feature of the IUL, and they already asked you, they held you like for like 20 minutes in one thing and you still have nine to explain. I know I don't have to, I'm not going to share my screen
Yeah, because you're
because
gonna open up a can of worms, huh?
oh yeah, all the time. So I just close it, or I have three screens. So for example, I have three screens. Like, so this is one, okay? This is another one, and this is the main one. So I can have the application on one screen, and I can show the clients, I can keep the client here on the benefits, right? And meanwhile, I'm like doing the application on a different screen. So three screens will do wonders for you. Okay, so application, very quickly, you need to check the DTI. One of the things I also take it away from the clients sometimes, and I say something like, Mr. Client, the company, the state of California has some regulations. We cannot exceed certain limits on your DTI, your debt to income ratio. So I have to ask you, Mr. Smith, how much money do you make per month? Oh, 10,000. Perfect. And I have to ask you, how much money are you committed to in credit, like car payments? What's your monthly minimum debt? Oh, yeah, like 4,000. Oh, perfect. Excellent. Okay. Uh, and then one of the some recommendations for the application, Anthony, is pre-fill the application before you meet the client. This will help you practice it, and this will help you be quick when you are with a client. You cannot keep a client on a Zoom for more than 2 hours. 2 hours is too much. If you keep them there for longer than that, they will hate you. And as soon as they hang up, they'll start cussing at you, and then you never know why they never return your call. And then meet with all parties. So meet with the wife. The wife has to be present. If you don't want to have chargebacks, you have to call the husband and the wife to be on your Zoom meeting. Don't ask for social security number from the beneficiaries. Very important. You don't need it. And when you ask for the social security number for the daughter, and the mother doesn't know it, and she calls the daughter to get the social security number, guess what's going to happen? The daughter is going to freak out and she's going to kill the deal. So don't ask for the darn social security number. I try to save a couple of deals from my some of my team members, and you can't save those deals. Now the daughter is all panicky because somebody's calling her mom, an elderly woman, on the phone asking for her social security number. And she's calling the cops, and it's just not, it doesn't work. Set up the underwriting expectations, Anthony. So you tell the client this is what's going to happen. Some clients, Carlos, Dalia, Sandra, I can't see your faces, but I know you're there. Some underwriting, some clients expect the policy to be approved instantly. Why? Because they get everything instant. Their food, DoorDash, Uber, everything is instant. And they are expecting an IUL to be instant. And it's not. And it's unfortunate that this industry is a little bit behind on technology, but we have to set up the expectation that it could take 5 days up to a month. Okay. Always set up the bank account, the main bank account. If you set up a different, like a side bank account, and they run out of funds, that's a chargeback waiting to happen. The way I ask it is, Mr. Smith, so what's your bank account? Perfect. Now, Mr. Smith, I just want to make sure this is your main account, right? Where all the money comes in? Yes? Perfect. Excellent. Yeah, because I'm reading here, the system is telling me to use the main accounts. I just want to make sure. Yeah, okay, perfect. Uh, and then ask if they want temporary coverage. I do this all the time to avoid chargebacks. I ask the client, Mr. Smith, what we can do is we can process the application and we can tell the company to draft the initial $300. As soon as they draft, you will be covered. Your life insurance kicks in. Do you want to do that now, or would you like to wait until everything's approved and they can draft the money then? And always, I didn't ask this question. Somebody told me, don't ask it because they're going to say at the end. But then what was happening is I was getting a lot of chargebacks because the client canceled during the process. So now I ask that question and I can tell which clients are serious about the IUL. And the clients that tell me, oh no, draft it right now, I want to be protected. I know that's a solid IUL. Now, if they tell you, oh, no, 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 I want to see whether they approve me first and then you can draft later. And then I know I'm dealing with an iffy client. And if that's the case, that means I just need to work him more. I need to work more with him. I need to give him more confidence. I'm failing at something. So that tells you a lot of things and helps you not to have chargebacks. Reaffirm the benefits. Remember, I highly suggest you memorize the 10, 12 benefits, the stack. Memorize the stack. Very important. Always save the illustration, very important, and always get referrals. Always ask for referrals. Mr. Smith, who is it that we can help in your family? And when you ask for referrals, they know you are legit. They know that you're not one of those scammers that will hit and run. They know that you are there for them. Okay. Next is underwriting and delivery process. Follow up every day if you can, or every 2 days. Follow up every day with the carrier right here. Communicate with the clients at least every 2 days. If you can follow up with a client daily, the better. The closer you are to your client, the more solid the IUL will be. This is not like life insurance or final expense where they sometimes are shopping around that product. The IUL is different. The IUL is a product where the clients still don't believe in it in 100%. So you have to stay close to them to build that trust, okay? Because it's not a very common product. You have to deliver the policy when you send out the delivery receipt. In the case of National Life, they send it out automatically and the client signs electronically. you have to give the client a call and congratulate them on the policy receipt and say, Mr. Smith, congratulations, your policy is in force, is active, you're protected. I'm so happy for you. And just understand, Mr. Smith, that I'm here for you and your family. Now you are protected with 10 incredible benefits. You have your family legacy, you have your terminal illness, chronic illness, critical illness coverage. The part of the money's growing with, and just throw him the stack once again. The stack, always, constantly throw it at the client to remind them of everything they are getting. Okay, and then do the 5 touches. Very important. If you don't do this, then you put your policy at risk of a chargeback. 5 touches. You're going to do the first touch is a day prior to the second month's draft. So, for example, let's say that they activate the policy today is February 6th. Then you follow up March 5th and you call the client and you say, Mr. Smith, I'm so excited for you. 1 month with your policy. How do you feel? Perfect. Mr. Smith, tomorrow is your second draft. And I remember we set up your main bank account. Everything is perfect, right, Mr. Smith? Yes, excellent. Or they will say something like, it's happened to me. Oh, I don't have any money. Can you tell them to wait? And now we got ourselves into a situation, okay? But we can fix it, and we're aware. If we're not aware of that situation, then the days will go by, the policy will lapse, and then we'll get the charge back. And then follow up month 3, month 6, 9, and 12, and every time you call, get referrals. As simple as that. Okay? What else? What else we have here? That's it, my friend. Let's dominate the market. Questions? Sandra says, yes, I'm still awake.
How
Laying
do you,
down, but awake.
how do you fix that problem when they don't have the money?
Uh, well, you have to sell them the policy once again. And they have it. Normally, they just don't want to pay because remember, you ask them how much they earn, what's their debt. You know they have money. Now, in the beginning, if you notice that they don't have money, don't do the policy. It's going to be a chargeback. Why waste your time? So, and I've talked to a lot of people in that situation. They don't have money. Like they make $2,000 a month. The only thing they can get is like a $100 policy. They can get a term policy, but not an IUL. So I don't sell them an IUL. I tell them, hey, uh, unfortunately, the laws, there's some rules and regulations, and you have to make enough to get into these type of vehicles, and I turn them down because why get excited about a commission when it's gonna charge back? So yeah,
Okay, but what do you tell, like, what do you do when you know they have the money, but they don't want to pay?
you resell the policy, Mr. Smith. Is there and just talk to them straight, Mr. Smith. Is there something that I I didn't explain properly? Because we can go back and I can explain. And I'm telling you this, Mr. Smith, because you're getting an incredible product. Is the same product that I have for my family. So I know you're in good hands and you have something great. Do you not did you have like a bad experience with your family over the past 2 weeks that you now don't want to leave them anything? And you just start digging and go with confidence because you already lost them. They already stopped paying. So whatever you say, it's not, I mean, what's the worst that can happen if you ask the right questions? Then they can reactivate the policy. And just ask, what is it? What's wrong? Did I not explain it properly? And just figure out the problem. What's the problem, Mr. Smith? Was it not what you were thinking about? Oh, yeah, well, my friend, he told me this is a scam and that he lost a lot of money. Oh, okay, I can go through your friend's policy. And like I said, Mr. Smith, there's about 160 IULs out there. Not most of them are trash. And if your friend ended up in the hands of an unqualified agent or somebody that doesn't know, yeah, a lot of bad things can happen when you do that, and it's the same thing if you end up in the hands of a bad doctor or a bad accountant or a bad mechanic. It's the same thing. So your friend's experience does not determine your future, Mr. Smith, and I highly suggest you keep this policy because if you cancel, then no, when you get sick and you really want to come back and get another IUL or a life insurance, your name will be tagged as somebody that cancel a policy, and now the policy could be more expensive. And you tell them straight with love, with kindness, and just to help them understand the importance of it and why they loved it. And yeah, a lot of them will keep the policy. But you follow up. You have to follow up. Okay. Any other question? I got a cheat sheet right here in the presentation. So if you download the PDF, the last page is a cheat sheet, so you can have it in front of you when you're making your calls and you know what to do. Right there. Very, very easy. And you
And
can
I
keep
think,
this.
guys, that Sam did like let's say a 2 hour presentation because he wants to go deep in every single subject. But once again, when you're doing a real presentation, you don't do it like that. You just stick to where you think that the client needs the most. So he
Hmm.
just ran to the whole thing. So like Sandra was asking, what happens if this and that? That shouldn't be an issue. If that happens, it's gonna happen at the beginning. You're gonna sense it. So you're not gonna waste your energy. Maybe it wasn't the right time. Some people are just curious. They already have like 3 IULs on them or whatever. So you kind of sense it. Just ask questions. You're gonna know where they're at. Don't try to push to make the sell because you're gonna end up doing all this work at the end. They never wanted it, and you knew it from the beginning. You just didn't want to give up. You just wanted to try to the end. There's certain answers from the client, like, well, I'm not working right now. That's just what a lot of people say. Oh, I'm busy right
Oh
now.
yeah.
That's normal, but they don't really mean it. What they really mean is, oh, I already have an IUL. I just wanted to see if you had a better pricing. There, it's a 50-50 chance. You just kind of have to be wise on it, if that makes sense, right, Sam?
Yeah, but don't get desperate, Sandra. And I see a lot of agents wanting money right now, but they have to pay it back later. So it's like gambling. I see a lot of agents, they get desperate and they're like, oh, no, 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 I need to close it. And in their brain, they're like, I need to close it because this is the last chance. But guess what, Sandra? Don't get into that game. Just relax. And your problems, all your problems in this business, and everybody listen to this well, all your problems in this business will be fixed with more leads. There, I gave you the answer. Oh, the client is canceling and he get more leads. Oh, he told me that he might he quit his job and he's get more leads. I don't know what to say. Oh, this client is giving me a hard time. He might get more leads. All your problems will be fixed when you get more leads. As simple as that. And when you get the leads, just make more calls and you will convert more of those leads. Chargebacks will always happen in this business. They are part of the business. But guess what? The way you avoid running out of money in the bank and going into deficit is get more leads. The leads will fix all your problems. As simple as that. I learned that in real estate. And when I learned that, man, my life changed because I was so stressed out. Oh, this client. Oh my gosh, what if it doesn't close? And what? And one a coach told me, get more leads. And I got into that mentality. And right now, I don't worry about anything. If the client wants to cancel, I talk to them, I reason with them, and then they make their own decision. I can't force anything. The more you force something, the less you're going to accomplish. So might as well just relax, talk to them in a nice manner, try to fix the situation, and then get more leads.
Sam, question.
Yes,
I know on the cold calling, people use the dialer, but how about we calling leads? Do we also need to use a dialer? We can
the
use our own.
leads. Oh yeah, I use the dialer. I use the
Okay.
triple dialer. Yes. So the way I do it is the when the leads come in, they go to my new client bucket. Let me show you.
CRM?
Yeah, so I use the dialer as my CRM right now. So this is my Mojo, a triple dialer. So for example, let's say the annuity. I have this bucket, right? New annuity. So I know they are new. When they are new, they drop into this bucket right here. They drop right here. And because they are new, I have never spoken to them, so I just open the dialer, start the triple dialer.
Can we do single dialer?
You can do single.
No, is this dialer? Because I know when I get calls from dialers, there's a pause. Like you answer hello, and it's a quiet thing. You hear a boop, and then say
Yeah.
hello, car. Does this
Yeah,
one sound
so
like that?
this one does have a little pause. Not all the time, depending on your internet connection. Not all the time. Lately, it's been super fast. It's they usually answer and there is no pause.
Yeah,
I
because I hang
know.
up like he's a solicitor, and I just hang
Yeah,
up
no,
before
this
they
one,
start talking.
yeah, no, this one, I don't think there's a pause anymore because it's been pretty fast over the past 2 months. They fixed something, they changed the software, and now it
And
connects
what
right
number
away.
do they see when you call on the dialer?
Your number.
Oh, so if you call from your cell phone, it'll be the same thing.
Yeah. You know what? I need to not show you this because when I load the video to YouTube, they ban accounts if you show lists of
Oh,
people.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, you use that and and then I triple dial the new list because I have not spoken to them. But once I speak to them, I move them to my hot list. And the hot list, because I already spoken to them and I know they will answer the phone, then on that one I do like a double dialer or single line dialer.
Will the ad or the video say anything with our name or Xperia?
Not Experior. I don't use company names, but I can use your name. Yeah.
That'll be amazing because that does help. Hey, you seen this video with Sam and I'm Carlos, and then they'll remember that name, right?
Oh yeah, I do that. So let me show you. For example,
That'll be amazing, huh, Sandra?
no, that's how I do it, Carlos.
Okay.
See,
Yes.
this is one of the ads for Wendy, who, by the way, is closing at like 10% rate, 10% closing rate.
We can do 20, huh, Sandra?
I've
You know
never,
what my conversion is right now?
What is it?
45.
40? Yeah, on those leads, yes.
Yeah.
That's a great
I was
conversion.
actually at 90. They even made a YouTube about it. How do you do it?
Oh, wow.
Don't ask me. I pray in
So
the morning.
here,
That's it.
I don't know anybody that closes over 10% consistently. I mean, yes, you can get a batch of leads, 100 leads, and you might close 20. But
Because they're face to face. That's why.
I'm talking about consistency. Like, okay, what about when you get your next 100? Are you going to close 20? Oh no, I only closed 3. Exactly. So your average is 10%. That's what I mean when I talk about like real numbers. So, for example, right here, you can see Wendy Arita, and it says Wendy Arita se comunicará pronto del teléfono, and then I have her phone number. So that's what they will see, and they
Can
see
you
it
do that
one.
for us, please, on the IULs?
Oh yeah, no, I do it for everybody.
Perfect. Isn't that great, Sandra?
The leads go straight to you,
Yes.
and then again, Wendy will call you.
That's top
Wendy will
notch.
call you,
Kaboom
and
would
then
charge you a lot of money for that.
look, and not only that, Carlos. I place like a massive button here that says call Wendy. Yeah. Call
Wow.
Wendy. Yeah. So the really hot leads will give you a call.
Wow.
And then what else? That's it. And then they watch an ad. Like this is for the Spanish campaigns. The Spanish campaigns, Carlos, are right now the best because they offer the best ROI. So the ROI is like 800%. And for English, it's like 400%. So you pay twice as much for English for the same amount of money.
But you're still gonna make money, Anthony. Don't
But
worry.
you still make a ton of money. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, because their
Definitely.
policies are bigger, right?
Policies are bigger.
They have more
They
money.
and you can move faster with those policies, Anthony, because English, they understand everything. They can you send
They're
them a
knowledgeable.
document, they sign everything right away because they know. And they have and if they have questions, they won't bother you because that hurts their pride. They go on ChatGPT and they do the research on their own, and they just come back to you and say, "Oh yeah, I'm not interested," or "Yes, I'm going to move forward." But at the end of the day, it's like an easier transaction. It's just a matter of them trusting you, and in order for them to trust you, you basically just have to be very professional, and you already have that. You have to be knowledgeable. They have to know that you know. You don't have to show them that you know, but you have to like you have to sometimes fake it until you make it, and then you will know. So, but yeah, those are the forms. And they tell us how much they want to contribute weekly. If you go out there and buy leads, somebody sent me like a lead vendor this morning, $15 for IUL leads, but they don't tell you how much money they want to contribute weekly or monthly. That means that they are not asking that question. And if they are not asking that question, what is it that they are showing to the people? Are they showing that they're going to get $25,000 from a government plan? Are they, like, are they tricking people into like just submitting their information and it's all fake? You can close them. A really great closer will close anything. All you have to do is like put people in front of him and he will close anything. But that's not the point. The point is to like work with people that really want to do this.
Stan,
And
question. When you say how much can you invest, why do you say weekly or bi-weekly when we know the premium is monthly? And I'm just
be-
asking that because when the client's looking at it, like, hey, do I have to contribute weekly or this is a one month payment? So I'm kind of curious.
yeah, weekly is so the amount is smaller.
Okay.
I want to do daily, but it wouldn't
So we
it
just need
wouldn't
to
make
clarify that
sense.
it is a monthly
I
premium.
can
So
do like $2 a day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No,
Okay,
not
okay.
$2. That's too little. I can do like $10 for $10 a day. You can get this much and that much. But no,
So
I do
they
it
see
weekly.
the number smaller, and they could
Yeah,
be
it's
interested.
easier for them to make a decision.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, it's all everything here. It's all
Psychological.
psychology. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't ask a question just for the sake of it. Like this one says, "Me quiero retirar con," and this psychologically, I learned that to not to ask them straight question, to let them answer their own question. So, me quiero retirar con, so they are talking to themselves. Me quiero retirar con, and then they select. Okay. And then here, ¿quieres protección contra enfermedades? Sí, no. Estado, seleccionan. ¿Cuánto puedes ahorrar? 25 semanal, 50, 71.
Now hold on. When it says state, pues ya ves que we're like some are only licensed here in California. Will they have options así también? What do we do if it's another state?
Uh, the same thing. You do the initial call, you bring them to a presentation, and you start filling out the application. And you fill out the application all the way through before the signatures. Once you hit the signatures, you tell the client, okay, Mr. Client, I have to process some documents with the state of Oklahoma. As soon as those documents are done, I'm going to send you the signature packet so you can review everything and have it there. Give me a couple of days and I'll be getting back to you. And
So
then
what
you
about if we're not licensed in that state or we're not appointed in that state? Because I know
know
when we,
that
huh?
that's exactly what you do. So you tell them, I'm going to get back to you in 2 days. And then as soon as you hang up the call, you apply for the license,
Oh, the non-resident?
the,
Okay.
the non-resident license, and sometimes you will get the license in a couple of hours.
Okay.
Like I just did that for Maryland. I literally submitted, I went all the way through. I submitted the application with signatures and everything. And I'm like, I know I have to resubmit the application when I don't have the license and I get the license later. But because they gave it to me the same day, the company didn't ask me to resubmit the application. So I did it by faith and I got it the same day.
Nice.
And that's that. But sometimes if you see that the client is an iffy client, go all the way through. Fill out everything and submit it. The company will reject the application. Nothing will happen. You get your license. All you have to do is resubmit the application. Simple.
And when we get this lead, we get it with all the answers and questions they did, or just the name and address and phone number?
You get a text message with the states and their contact information. And then I do a spreadsheet for you, like this one. This is for Wendy. And every time one drops in, a new row is created and it just starts filling up. See, these are Wendy's.
So it doesn't have the questions and answers there, right?
On the
That they
text
that they
message,
asked that they asked.
yeah, right here. Estado, cuánto puede ahorrar. It's got everything here.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, everything's here. Not on the text because that would be like a very long text.
Yeah,
And
that's just the notification, the text, right? And you go in here to
exactly.
get the version.
And
Okay.
it's very expensive. So I pay for all the integrations and all the infrastructure for the leads. I pay for all of that. And it's like $600-700 a month that I pay. And I don't pass any of that cost to anybody. All I ask is that you cover like the base cost of
The
whatever the
lead.
leads are at Facebook, for example, and that's that.
Okay, last question for me, I hope so. The illustration you did again, I got a little bit confused. It is National Life, what you were using right now?
National Life and North American.
North America?
Yes,
Okay.
National Life and North American.
Okay.
And you can, for example, let me open up this. Okay, so uh, if you go to the Spanish portal where I have all the trainings, you just go to the IUL tab and you will see everything there. It's taking a little bit to load.
Abigail, any questions?
Dalia. Dalia's already.
Carlos texted me. He's like he had to take a phone call, but this was like 10 minutes ago, so he was in there for a while.
Okay, I hope it's
No, I'm
an
still
IUL
awake.
lead. Okay, Dalia. Um, so, Carlos, si vas aquí a IUL, the IUL section,
Mhm.
you have the like how to do an illustration with National Life, how to do an application with National Life, another version from somebody else, how to do an IUL with Mutual of Omaha, how to do the where I compare the participating loans between Transamerica, North American, and F&G, how to do an illustration with North American, the way I did it earlier, F&G, another version of F&G, the 9 benefits of the IUL, and now you're going to have this training for you. Okay, so Anthony, you have any questions? You're pretty smart, man. Like you catch everything.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, no,
Let's
no
see.
questions.
I think everybody should upgrade their Zoom because when they get with the clients, you don't want to be getting cut off. So upgrade the premium, the Zoom once you start getting your leads.
Yeah, it's a little pricey.
I pay
Maybe
153 a year. I don't know how I did that.
yeah, it's about that.
Yeah.
I heard, and don't take my word for it. I heard somebody in the company said that we now have Google Meets included in the platform, but I haven't gotten into it. So if you want to do some research and let me know if that's the case. I heard it from a leader, but I'm because I haven't seen it, I don't want to say that that's the case. So anyway, so that's it. I'm building, Anthony, I'm building the portal the same as the Spanish one, the same as this one for English. Just bear with me. If you need any training, just let me know, Anthony, and I'll be happy to go to work and start building tutorials. But I clone the Spanish training sites to English. I just need to start uploading all the videos, and it'll be pretty similar.
Can I have the phone number to National Life for contracting? Because that's the only one I'm waiting on actually.
National Life. Yeah, I
Sandra
don't
gave me
have
the
it.
wrong number yesterday.
National Life? No, you asked for North American.
No,
No, no, no,
National Life I
for
need. National Life.
oh right here. 1-800
Hold on. 800.
906 3310.
Okay, I'm gonna call Monday. Because that's the only one I'm waiting.
Okay, so this is the English portal to learn, and I have the same sections, and I already have the onboarding video. So this is very important. Anthony, if you want to watch this one, this is like the system, the way how we work the system here. Super important. I have the annuities. So we had this yesterday, just one training here. And for IUL, I don't have one yet. It's this one, the one we're recording right now. I'm going to upload it here tomorrow morning. And then I'll just keep adding more videos. So whatever you need from here, Anthony, I want you to help me and just tell me, hey Sam, I need instructions on sales, or I need instructions on term or final expense. I have nothing. So, but if you tell me, hey, I can you help me with Core Bridge or whatever? I'll get in there and do a tutorial video for you. So as you ask me for tutorials, I'll make them. But because I'm so busy right now, I'm not going to do them right now until I start getting like until people start asking for those tutorials. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for showing up. Remember the last page of the PDF has this uh, cheat sheet, and you can have it open when you're talking to the clients, and you can go to step 1, 2, 3, and the benefits, all the 12 benefits. Very simple, very straightforward. This right here will do wonders for you. It'll tell you everything you need to tell the client on the phone. Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank
I'll
you.
see you all later.
Thank you. Have a good night. Talk to you Monday.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, tomorrow we have a Spanish training if you want to join. We're going to talk about annuities, but you already covered that, so you don't have to join if you don't need to. All right. See you later.
Thank you. Good